And thanks for joining us here on Delaware. I'm Peter MacArthur. It's Thursday. It's August 18th. Talking about the job market this morning like we do on occasion. Chris Burkhard, Placers Staffing, joining us this morning. Good morning to you on this beautiful day, sir. How you doing?
Hey, I'm always appreciative to have time on your show. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get down to it, Chris. Layoffs, job offers are being rescinded, now popping up daily on social media and in the news. Is this a good time to change jobs, do you think, or should folks maybe stay put? What advice would you give on that?
Hey, we're being asked this question by the workforce almost daily. If you run an internet search, there's articles and coaches are saying that maybe it's a good time to, for the next year, maybe wait for the economy to improve. But I'm not sure I agree with that. I think it's a good time in the short term, in the immediate, to make a job change. The layoffs we've seen have been, in tech, they've been high profile. And now you're starting to see things happen in regular everyday businesses where maybe they overhired, demand is down, maybe they were trying to replace staff that was sick with COVID. So many overhired in hindsight in a very overheated economy. So we're just back to a normal job market. Jobs are created, jobs are changed, jobs are eliminated. I have to say this so people don't send me, hate comments. Every layoff stinks. If you're affected, it's an awful thing. But the reality with what I study all the time, there's a normal amount of churn that happens. And we were in a time where there was just very little happening. Now, just this morning, unemployment claims were down. Yeah. Even I was a bit surprised at that. And it tells me that even those that have been laid off, they're not having a hard time finding their next role in the immediate.
We have Labor Day upcoming. We have the end of summer upcoming, sadly. But it's often a time, Chris, that folks jumpstart their career search. What advice are you giving someone who's re-entering the job market now?
Man, there's such momentum. It's such great timing. We've had a great job market. You've got seasonal summer hires that are going to become seasonal holiday hires, if that's relevant. But it's a very strong overall job market. Hours and pay are still negotiable. So no matter what you want to work, you could probably still find it. But something interesting, we've all been so trained to put everything in through our computers, our applications, send in our resumes by email. There's a trend where people are stopping in the old-fashioned way, meeting a manager, getting an interview. So I would, sometimes when your crowd goes one way, go the opposite. If you do it, dress appropriately, bring your resume. There's a chance you're going to get an interview, but a lot of people are getting jobs that old-fashioned way right now. Yeah, which makes sense. And it's interesting to watch this transition. We've gone from the Great Resignation, where there were, 4 million people or so quitting a month, to now what they're terming the Great Regret, where maybe some employees, maybe some employers are regretting their job and hiring decisions. Well, the pandemic caused all of us, some of us in leadership roles, some of us in employees, to reevaluate everything about our lives and to make changes. And it's hard to evaluate yourself and make changes. So what do most of us do? We change our job, we change our career, and we change our company. What's kind of interesting is, in hindsight, the new job did not make a whole lot of people happier, Pete. In fact, there's some polls recently where almost 3 out of 4 folks that changed jobs realized it wasn't a greener on the other side, and about half of them are trying to get their old job back. So pandemic's tough. It was really hard to get a new job, to get trained. It was hard to build relationships. Companies acted differently. We all know this. But on the business side, lots of folks overhired because, there was opportunity. They did their own thinking, like, let's go for it. It seems like there's a lot of demand. And it was really hard to staff. Take it from me. My clients had people out, so they continued to hire because you never knew who was going to be there.
Yeah.
So if you look back, it looks really messy in hindsight. And now I think people are just trying to make common sense adjustments.
Right. That makes sense. Inc. magazine puts together a list of what they call the most successful companies in America. They call it the Inc. 5000. And I wanted to point out that your company Placer Staffing is, for, I think, the 7th year in a row, has made that list. So, first of all, congratulations. And B, I want to put you on the spot for a minute here. Obviously, right, for a successful company, you have to have the ink flowing black. But aside from that, Chris, what do you kind of term success when it comes to your own company?
Man, thank you for taking a little time to discuss it. One of the things that I think got me here is try to be humble about this stuff. So I think this award indicates that we're in a spot where we're actually helping people, that we're helping job seekers, that they need us, that, it is a weird job market and it's hard to get your next job sometimes. And it proves to me that our clients need our services. But maybe what I'm most proud of is that we've got a really great culture. My whole goal, Peter, is to build entrepreneurs, to give them knowledge, help them make decisions, help them grow. And, I think we're doing that. I learned once that, the definition of rich is not always about money. It's about whether or not you're helping enough people. And I think we're pretty rich in that regard. And that's probably what makes me the most happy.
Yeah, and that's understandable. It certainly is. Always good to talk to you, sir, and we'll do it again soon. And for people that want to check out what it is you do, we'll point them at myplacers.com. How about that?
That would be great. And if I might add, if you're contemplating kind of like, who am I and what I want to be, I have a podcast called Culture of One, and it's myplacers.com/build the life you want -2. It's a pretty cool one because it gets you thinking beyond the job, Pete, and I think that's what we really all need to do if we're going to make change in our lives.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Chris, thank you so much.